Welcome to the Southeast Retirement Planners Podcast, where we will go beyond the balance sheet with our guests, not only to share from our personal experience as financial advisors of over 25 plus years, but also to learn from our guests about the issues and topics that are important to them. Our firm specializes in taking care of the financial plans for individuals and small businesses by helping our clients identify their individual goals and taking a conservative and ongoing approach to helping accomplish them. We are located in Hickory, North Carolina, and look forward to continuing to serve our clients and our community. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode.
Thank you for joining us today on Southeast Retirement Planners Podcast. We've got an interesting topic today that may pull on some emotional heartstrings or make some people mad or make some people have some interesting thoughts or question some of their decisions. Today,
scary.
Yes, it's scary too. We're going to talk about keeping the bank of mom and dad open for those adults out there that have kids who are continuing to fund their adult children. So it's that time of year. Graduation season is upon us when we're filming or recording this here at the end of May, and it's a lot of attention's given. To you got caps, gowns, celebrations. My son, I just had one graduate high school. He's getting ready to go into college as we sit here, and there's a lot of things happening financially underneath all that, which is never really talked about. Yeah. We're trying to have some conversations, but it's a different season for him as he goes off to college. We're going to be spending money, but there's a lot of kids graduating college. Yeah. And going out into the real world, if you will.
And, I mean, this really does scare you. You didn't even introduce me in this one. So,
well, yes, that is correct. Well, I thought it went without saying, but this is Les Stewart here today, and I thought you were just yourself. Well known.
And yourself as well.
And myself, I am Ryan Edwards.
All right. Well, this is going to be a good one.
We just jumped straight in today.
We did. All right. Yeah. So, families around this time of year, like you said, with graduation, families been paying college tuition. Mm-hmm. Major reoccurring expense, and that's about to disappear, and that could generate an extra $27,000 to $57,000 a year that suddenly is like a pay raise.
Yeah, and I guess the question is, where's the money go to next?
Right.
Because there's no plan for it. It doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't sit there waiting. Does it get absorbed into lifestyle, or does it just kind of quietly get redirected toward continued support of said adult child?
Right. So, really what we're talking about today, from our perspective, the family who are intentional about this moment come out ahead, and the ones who aren't tend to look, up a year later or 2 years later and ask, where's that extra money that I was supposed to have?
Yeah. So college graduation is one of the biggest financial inflection points, if you will, that a family can go through, and most families treat it like a finish line. It's actually can be a starting line,
right.
and for the parents especially.
Right. So I'm actually kind of in this stage myself. I've had two children recently in the last couple of years graduate college, and when that happens, there's a period of time where they get out of college, they don't have a job, or they're starting a job, they don't really have a whole lot of savings. And so, a lot of people, including myself, looked at that time like, I'm going to have to help them get on their feet, bridge that gap of time there for a few months until they get on their feet.
Yeah, well, the data says otherwise.
That's not good.
Yeah.
So half of all parents with adult children are now providing regular financial support. The average monthly contribution is $1,474, and that's at a 3-year high, up about from 45% of people just 2 years ago.
So obviously it's accelerating. And by the way, my father Terry Edwards did not get that memo.
He didn't?
No, nowhere near.
I know. Things may be a little different these days.
Mm-hmm.
Is it groceries? 83% of supporting parents think that's what it is. Cell phone bills are 65%. Vacations, 46%. For parents of Gen Z adults, those 18 to 28, the average monthly support climbs to $1,813.
And the AARP data is worth paying attention to as well. 75% of adults 45 and older are financially supporting at least one adult child, and an average annual contribution around $7,000. And 53% of those adult children can reportedly meet their own basic needs with money left over.
So it's not always just that they need it or have to have it situation.
A lot of it, is just a habit, or nobody wanted to have the conversation.
And the cost to the parents is real. 42% report financial stress. 9% have already adjusted their retirement plans because of that support they're giving their children.
Yeah. So and
adult children.
The adult children. Yeah. So and working parents are contributing more than twice as much to their grown kids each month as they are to their own retirement accounts. $1,589 to their children, $683 to retirement.
So that gap is what graduation gives you a real chance to address. So
Correct.
During this time, I guess, looking at my own situation, it's time for me to have a conversation. Right.
Yeah, and so what do you actually say? Because a lot of parents, that they should have the conversation, and they just don't know how to start it.
Right. Well, graduation makes it natural. Both generations expect things to change. You're not blindsiding anyone. You're just naming what was already, expected to happen anyway.
Yeah, what's worth putting on the table?
Yeah. So when does a regular support shift from expected to optional? Which expenses move to the graduate's responsibility, and what timeline does that happen on? What does the graduate need to understand about employer benefits, health insurance, retirement plan enrollment?
Right. And what can parents realistically continue to provide without putting their own retirement at risk? And that's the one most families never actually answer out loud.
Right. And, it's uncomfortable, obviously, but not answering that question is, in fact, answering the question. Not having the conversation is answering the question.
Yeah, and honestly, having a financial professional in that conversation changes things. One firm out there, Ameriprise, in their 2025 research found that 78% of parents said that their financial professional helped guide decisions related to their adult children.
Well, it takes the personal interaction out of it, and the conversation comes about the plan and not about the parent-child relationship.
Yeah, and that's a lot easier for everyone in the room, certainly. Interesting, the other day we were, my son was getting ready to go to the beach for senior week, and I was going through our taxes, and he had made some money, and I told him, I said, this is a real-world experience, right here, just as you're getting ready to go on vacation, usually some expenses hit you. And I said, you owe $180 on your taxes. And he just kind of got big-eyed.
So you've passed down the vacation curse onto your children, correct. Basically.
Exactly. I felt it was necessary for me to hit it with him out the gate. So,
well, that's good.
Yeah, a day after graduation.
Okay. Well, that is a real-world experience. So tuition payments end. What should parents actually do with the cash flow now?
Well, retirement contributions first, certainly. The 2026 limit is $24,500, and if you're 50 and older, then you can make a catch-up contribution of $8,000. That brings that total amount up to $32,500.
Right, and don't forget the Secure 2.0 provision, which is worth knowing. The super catch-up for those ages 60 to 63, that brings you can contribute up to $35,750.
Yeah, and that's and if both spouses are working and contributing, you're looking at a combined opportunity there that for a lot of families is only now realistic now that the tuition was eating it before.
So this might be the first time those limits have actually felt achievable.
Right. That was a big bill going out for tuition. So there's another window worth thinking about. The years between the end of college payments and the start of Social Security and required minimum distributions. That can create a real opportunity for Roth conversions.
All right. So tell us how that works.
Well, once you reach age 73, you're generally required to begin taking distributions from your traditional IRAs and 401ks, and those are taxed as ordinary income. So converting to a Roth before that point can help with tax management and also estate planning.
Okay. And, the qualification requirements on the Roth side, what are those?
Right.
There are.
Yeah, the Roth earnings need at least a 5-year time period for the money to be held in the Roth. So a 5-year holding requirement and occur at age 59 and a half to qualify for tax-free treatment. So the window between tuition ending and those requirements matters, and it doesn't last forever. And filling those gaps is important. So retirement contributions and Roth conversions are the obvious places to start. But there are a few other things worth noting while you have the opportunity.
Yeah, like emergency reserves. A lot of families draw that cushion down during college, your savings, and never rebuild it. 3 to 6 months of essential expenses in an accessible savings account, something you can quickly get your hands on. Once tuition ends, that's worth addressing first and foremost, we think, and get those allocated dollars there.
Right, and insurance is another one. If a graduate is still on a parent's health plan, they can maintain that and remain on it until age 26 under the Affordable Care Act. But this is also a good time for parents to look at their own coverage as well.
Right. And long-term care specifically is a coverage they should look at. And parents in their 50s and early 60s are still in a good position to explore those options. Health is good, are still suitable, and that window to be eligible for that narrows each year once you kind of hit those ages. And graduation of your children are a trigger for that.
Right, and then also estate documents, making sure you got the wills, your power of attorney, your beneficiary designations, your health care directives,
right.
All of those in order. If the last child graduating means an empty nest, then a lot of change has happened in 4 years, so that's worth reviewing.
That's right. And while we're at it, graduation is also a real opportunity to set the next generation up well.
Yeah, and as they go into their first job, they're going to have, hopefully, a benefits enrollment. And it's the one worth flagging first, the one opportunity to really try to make an impact, and where they make the decisions on health insurance, retirement plans, the employer match. Hopefully it's a part of it. Graduates are making those choices fast and often without really understanding what they're signing up for.
Right.
And we're in it always, and they don't know what they're talking, and you probably don't have a qualified person there helping guide them through.
I remember my first job, and there was not a lot of guidance, I remember, and I was just kind of checking the boxes to get through it, to get started, right?
Yeah.
So, and if they contribute nothing from the start, they move to the wait until the next open enrollment the following year for their retirement plan. So they're a year behind, and so even that initial small contribution down the road is keeps that option open to contribute.
And health insurance is worth a specific conversation as well. But they can stay on the parent's plan, as I mentioned earlier, until age 26, regardless of their marital status, employment, or living situation. But if their employer offers coverage, it's worth actually comparing the options.
And then the basics: building credit, starting an emergency fund. Not complicated, but it's easy to skip whenever everything else feels so much more urgent.
Right.
So if you're listening to this and a graduation is coming up in your family, this is the moment. Have that conversation about the support. Look hard at the retirement contribution limits. Don't let the estate documents slide another year.
Right. And look, you don't have to solve everything at once, but starting before the last tuition check clears makes all the difference.
Right. And if you want help thinking through this transition and what it looks like for your family, that's exactly what we're here for, is to help work with your family.
And, reach out anytime. We really appreciate you listening today. Hopefully we've provided some insight on some of this certain topic that pulls on some heartstrings out there on both sides.
Right.
But we would value the opportunity to sit down or help you have those conversations. To find out more about us, you can find us at seretirementplanners.com. That's seretirementplanners.com. Or call our office at 828-855-2067, and you can set up a complimentary financial, what we call checkup, if you will, where we sit down and cover a number of topics with individuals and walk you through our process that we go through to help people provide more clarity on their overall financial picture. So we, once again, thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to talking or seeing you in the future.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member of FINRA, SIPC. Southeast Retirement Planners is not affiliated with LPL Financial or registered as a broker-dealer or investment advisor.